Sending your first shipment of inventory to Amazon can be quite complicated, especially since Amazon made some big changes to their shipping plan workflow with the partnered carrier program and the new inventory placement options, which have made shipping inventory to Amazon more confusing and potentially more expensive. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to navigate the new workflow to create your first shipping plan and avoid all the little quirks and common mistakes. I'll also show you how you can ship different products at the same time, how to deal with mixed or mismatched cartons, proper labeling, as well as a bunch of other tips and tricks. So let's get started. All right, so first things first. You don't always need to ship your inventory to Amazon's warehouses. You only need to ship inventory to Amazon if you plan to sell your products using Amazon's FBA service. FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. This is where Amazon will handle all of the logistics for you, from storing your inventory, picking and packing your products, shipping, customer service, as well as handling any refunds and returns. If you plan to do FBM, which stands for Fulfillment by Merchant, where you plan to ship your products to your customers each time you make a sale, then you don't need to ship anything to Amazon. If you're wondering, I highly recommend going the FBA route since it makes selling so much easier. You don't have to worry about packing, labeling, shipping, or dealing with refunds and returns. Amazon does it all for you. And on top of that, your products will also get the Amazon Prime badge on your listings, meaning Amazon Prime members will get free 1 and 2 day Prime shipping, which helps boost your sales. Now, a common question I see sellers asking all the time is if they can just drop off their inventory to an Amazon warehouse since there's one close by to where they live. Well, unfortunately, you can't. Amazon does not accept drop-offs. You must create a shipping plan and have your inventory shipped to Amazon's warehouses through a shipping carrier like FedEx or UPS. You can't drop it off yourself. Okay, so if you plan to do FBA, then to get started with creating your first shipping plan, I'm going to assume that you already have an Amazon seller account. Of course, if you want to sell on Amazon, you need to have a verified account. So if you haven't done that yet, you can sign up by going to sell.amazon.com and register for a new seller account. Now, in order for you to ship inventory to Amazon, you also need to have created a product listing first. So if you haven't done that yet, then you won't be able to ship anything to Amazon. So to create a new product listing, you can click on Menu, Catalog, Add Products. Now, the specifics of creating a new product listing is beyond the scope of this video, so if you need help with that or with creating a new seller account, I'll leave links in the video description below to detailed videos that will show you how to do that. Now, once you've created your product listing, you'll see your product listed here on the Manage Inventory page. So to start the process of sending your products to Amazon begins with what's called a shipping plan. The shipping plan is how you inform Amazon what products you plan to ship, how many units of each product, how the products are packaged and labeled, and when Amazon can expect the shipment to arrive. So, as you can imagine, it's important that you fill out the shipping plan accurately. Otherwise, it will delay your shipment, or worse, Amazon will charge you penalty fees. Now, you can see that I'm out of stock on this item here. However, you don't have to be out of stock to send in more inventory. You can send in more inventory whenever you want, as long as you have the storage space available to do so, and I'll go over this later on in the video. So in order to stock up on this item, I can start a new shipping plan by clicking on the drop-down menu here and click on Send Replenish Inventory. You can also click on Menu, Shipments, and at the top here, click on Send to Amazon. Now, if you don't see this Send Replenish option like you can see on this listing, then your product isn't set to use Amazon's FBA service. When you created the product listing, you didn't choose that you wanted to use Amazon's Fulfillment by Amazon service. You can tell the listing isn't set to FBA because you'll see the option Change to Fulfilled by Amazon, like you can see here. If that's the case, then you can switch to FBA by clicking on Change to Fulfilled by Amazon and click List as FBA. Now, it may take a few minutes for this to actually update on your account, so if you don't see the Send Replenish option, just wait a few minutes and refresh the page. And once the option is available, click on Send Replenish. All right, now you can see that we're on step 1 of 3 steps. In this first step, we need to choose the products that we plan to ship to Amazon. You can see that we're on the Pre-Selected tab here, and down here it shows the SKU that we chose on the previous page. If you have more than one product that you want to ship to Amazon, you can actually click on the All FBA SKUs tab here and select the other products that you want to include in this shipment. In this case, we're just going to keep it simple and just send in one SKU. Now, if this is your first time you've ever created a shipping plan for this product listing, then you're going to have to enter the origin address. The origin here is usually going to be your supplier's address or wherever you're shipping your products from. It actually doesn't really matter what you put here. You can put your own address if you want, but I suggest putting your supplier's address. If you need to change it, you can also do so by clicking here. And a pro tip, if you're shipping your products from overseas to the US, you can potentially save some money by using a California-based ship from address here. Keep in mind though that doing this is actually against Amazon's guidelines, so do this at your own risk, but I haven't had or seen anyone run into any problems. By using a California address, Amazon will tend to have you ship your products to an Amazon warehouse that's located close to the port, instead of having you ship your products to somewhere in the middle of the country where you'd have to pay extra shipping costs. So if you can, find a California address that you can use. If you hired a freight forwarder, ask them if they have a warehouse near the port that you can use. Now, if you're selling in the US marketplace and you want to restock your inventory in the US Amazon warehouses, then choose United States here in the marketplace destination. Otherwise, choose the correct marketplace that you want to ship to here. Okay, now in the packing details, you can see that it says case packed 30. That's because I've already shipped this product to Amazon in the past, and I've already created a packing template for this product. But if this is your first time, then you'll have to create a new packing template by choosing Create New Packing Template. Now, before filling this out, you can see in the template type that there are two options. You can choose from case packed or single SKU pallet. For most people, you're not sending in a huge shipment, so your inventory is most likely not going to be palletized. You can see that it says here, template type indicates how you plan to ship your products to Amazon. Select case packed if you want to ship using boxes. Select single SKU pallet if you plan to ship using pallets, usually LTL, and the entire pallet contains only one type of product. So choose case packed. Now, what case packed means can be somewhat confusing for many beginners. As you can see here directly on Amazon's packing guidelines, case packed means all products in a box must have matching SKU and condition and must have been packaged together by the manufacturer. All boxes with the same product must contain equal quantities of that product in each box. For example, a case pack of 24 units must always contain 24 units, and the case pack limit is 150 units per case. So what does that actually mean? It means inside each box, or it's also called a shipping box or shipping carton or master carton, every carton must contain the exact same product. You can't mix and match different products. And inside each carton, it must also contain the same count of that product. You can't have different counts if you're sending multiple cartons. Now, to avoid further confusion, the product is also called a unit. One unit is what the buyer gets when they buy one item from you. For example, let's say you're selling a red toothbrush. The red toothbrush is considered one unit. Every case packed shipping carton must only contain the red toothbrush. You can't mix in green toothbrushes or blue toothbrushes. And if your supplier packaged 100 units in one shipping carton, then all the shipping cartons must also have 100 units of the red toothbrush inside. Does that make sense? Now, to drive this point home, let's say instead you're selling a pack of toothbrushes. It doesn't matter how many are in the pack. It can be a 2-pack or a 6-pack. The whole pack of toothbrushes is still considered one unit. It also doesn't matter if you're selling a toothbrush bundled with toothpaste. The bundle is still considered one unit. One unit is whatever the buyer gets when they buy one item from you. Okay, make sense? We'll talk more about this later on when we go over labeling in the video. So now that you understand what case packed is, give the template a name. I suggest naming it something descriptive so that you know exactly what the template is. For example, my supplier packages these in cartons of 30 units, so I'm going to call this template case packed 30 units. That way I know what this template is just by looking at the name. In the units per box, enter the number of units. In my case, 30. In the box dimensions, enter the size and weight of the carton. You can get this information from your supplier. Make sure this is accurate though. I noticed that this is in inches and pounds. If your supplier gave you the details in metric, make sure you convert it. Now, I also want to point out that there are size and weight limits here. If you exceed them, you will incur fees or penalties. As you can see here, the longest side of each carton cannot be more than 25 inches, and it cannot weigh more than 50 pounds. I'll post a link down in the description below to this page if you want to read more about it. Now, under the prep category, you can choose if you need Amazon to do any additional prep for you. You can see in my case, I want Amazon to bubble wrap this for me. There is a fee to have Amazon do any prep for you though. So if you need Amazon to do any prep, then you can choose what you want them to do by clicking here. Otherwise, choose no prep needed. And most important, you can choose which barcode type you're going to use on your product. My product here is using the Amazon barcode, which is also called the FN SKU. You can see that I can change it here to use the manufacturer barcode, which is also called the UPC barcode. Now, what I suggest is always use Amazon barcode and put the FN SKU barcode on your units, not the UPC. If you want to learn more about barcodes, where to buy them, how to change this setting, and why I suggest using the FN SKU, I'll post a link to a video down in the description below. Now, in the Who Labels option, you can choose who is going to put the barcode labels on your product. In most cases, your manufacturer is going to put the barcode on your product for you since it's the easiest and cheapest way to do it, so choose Buy Seller. However, you can have Amazon do it for you too, but Amazon is going to charge you a 55 cent per unit fee, as you can see here. And a pro tip to save some money is to actually have the barcode printed directly on the product packaging instead of using a sticker or label, which costs money. And once you're done, click Save. Okay, now you need to specify how many units you are sending to Amazon. So let's say I want to ship in 5 cartons, so a total of 150 units. You can see it automatically filled in the units here since it knows how many units are inside each carton from the packing template. Click Ready to Send. And if we take a look here, since we're not having Amazon do any prep, there are no additional fees. Click Confirm and Continue. Now you can see we're on step 2. However, before we do that, let's go back real quick so we can cover a few other common shipment scenarios. Let's say you have a situation where you have an extra shipping carton that you also need to ship that's not the standard case pack from your template. Let's say I want to ship in 160 units, so 5 cartons of 30, but I have one extra smaller carton of 10 units. Well, in this case, you can click on More Inputs, Add a Packing Line. Now you can enter the details of your extra shipping carton. If you have more than one packing template like I do here, I have another one that's cartons of 60, I can choose it from here. Or if you want to create a new template, you can do so by choosing Create a New Packing Template. That way you can pull it up again in the future if you need to. However, let's say this is just a one-off situation. So in this case, choose Individual Units, enter 10 units here, then click on Ready to Pack. Now you can see that I have a total of 160 units ready to send here. Now click on Pack Individual Units. Notice this time that instead of jumping directly to step 2, we're now on an intermediate step, step 1B. We need to provide some extra information. So remember, in this scenario, I'm sending in 5 cartons of 30 and an extra carton of 10 units. And all 10 of those extra units are going to be packed into one box. So choose Everything will fit in one box. If it's not, then choose Multiple boxes. Click Confirm. Now again, get the box details from your supplier and enter it here. And keep in mind, I'm just making all of these up for demonstration purposes, so none of this is actually accurate. Click on Confirm Packing Information. Now, if you see a warning here, double check that you've entered the box details and quantities correctly. It's warning you because based on the details that you entered, it doesn't match what Amazon thinks the shipping carton size and weight should be for the number of units that you said that you're going to ship in. It calculates this based on the size and weight and volume of what a single unit is, so double check that you entered everything correctly. This is just a way to help you make sure that you didn't make any mistakes. I made all of these details up, so that's why we're seeing this warning here. So since I know that we're all good here, click on Confirm and Continue. All right, so now you can see that we're back on step 2, and here's where Amazon has made some big changes to how shipping inventory to Amazon works. You can see that the default recommended option here is to use Amazon's partnered carrier option. This option allows you to take advantage of Amazon's shipping discounts versus arranging the shipment yourself through a shipping carrier like FedEx or DHL. So if you do want to arrange a shipment yourself, you can choose the non-partnered carrier option here, which I'll go over in a minute. Now, regardless of which option you choose, Amazon now charges an inbound placement service fee. Here's where we can choose how you want to split up your shipment to Amazon's warehouses. You can see here it says, shipping your inventory to more locations will minimize inbound placement service fees and improve delivery speed to buyers. So basically, if you take on the responsibility to ship your inventory to multiple Amazon warehouses, then you'll pay lower inbound placement service fees. However, the fewer warehouses that you ship to, such as you can see here, I can choose to ship to 5 warehouses, which is free. There's no fee at all. Or I can ship to 3 warehouses, which cost this much. Or I can ship to just 1 warehouse where the fee is much, much higher. If you want to learn more about these options, you can read about them here, and I'll leave a link to this page that goes over the new inbound placement service fee down in the description below. Now, you can see that when I choose this default option, it shows down here the 3 different Amazon warehouses that it wants me to ship to, as well as how many units to ship. Make sure that you don't mix this up. You can see that for shipment number 1 and 2, there are 60 units each. However, shipment number 3 is only 30 units. If you ship inventory to the wrong warehouse, Amazon will charge you penalty fees. All right, next is the shipping mode. You can choose to ship by air or by sea. Air is always going to be the fastest, but it costs significantly more. For example, let's choose a ship date here. Choose a date based on when your supplier will have your inventory ready for shipment. Then click on Get Shipping Cost. Here, you can choose who you want to ship with based on the shipping service and estimated delivery date that you require. You can see how much it will cost, who the carrier is, and if you require them to pick up your shipment, what the additional fee is here. Then enter the shipping details here. Again, you can get all of this information from your supplier. Then enter a brief description of what you're shipping here for each shipment. And when you're done, check mark that you agreed to the terms and conditions and click on Accept Charges and continue. Now, I want to warn you here, if you choose the partnered carrier option, you're going to get charged right away as soon as you accept the charges. However, if you decide to change your mind, you only have 24 hours to cancel the shipment to get a full refund. If it's beyond 24 hours, you can still cancel the shipment, but you will not get a refund. Now, before continuing, let's go over the non-partnered carrier option. If we choose the non-partnered carrier option, there's a few different options that we have to complete. You can see here you have to set the ship date. This is when you plan to ship your inventory. Now, it doesn't have to be exact, but you should try to be as accurate as possible. You can always change it later if you need to. And you can see that the shipment splits and inbound placement service fee options are the same. Next is the shipping mode. Basically, if you're just starting out on Amazon, you're always going to choose SPD, which stands for small parcel delivery. These are loose cartons that are not on a pallet. Pallet delivery is when you're shipping in much larger quantities where the cartons are palletized, but that's generally for once you've built your business to a much larger scale and you're shipping in more than just a few hundred units. Then you can save a lot of money by palletizing your shipment. Now, select the shipping carrier you're using from the drop-down list. It really doesn't matter which carrier you choose here, but again, you should be as accurate as you can. And if your carrier isn't on this list, then choose Other. Then choose how you're shipping your inventory. Air, ground, or sea. Again, it really doesn't really matter which one you choose, but be as accurate as you can. And again, you can see how Amazon wants you to split up your shipments here. For each shipment, you need to enter a delivery window. This is when you expect your shipment to arrive at Amazon's warehouse. It's extremely important that you try to be as accurate as possible here. Amazon has a new policy now that if your shipment misses the delivery window that you specify, meaning that it arrives early or late, it can affect your account health as well as slow down the shipment processing. So if your delivery changes for whatever reason, make sure you update the shipping plan and adjust the delivery window accordingly. You can see here that it says, the delivery window is when you expect your shipment to arrive at the fulfillment center. This information will help us get your products in stock faster. Choose an estimated 14-day date range. You can update this when you enter your tracking details. Notice that it also says, this delivery window can be edited in the final step up to October 31st, 2024. Once this date arrives, you won't be able to edit the shipping details. If you want to learn more about how this delivery window works, you can read more about the requirements on this page here, and I'll leave a link to this page down in the description below. Now, once you've set the dates, you can review the summary here, and if everything looks good, Click on Accept Charges and Confirm Shipping. Okay, and now we're back on step 3. Here's where we can download and print the box labels. These are the labels that need to go on your shipping cartons. So to download or print the box labels, choose the label size and click on Print. Now, if you're not the one shipping your inventory, then save the box labels as a PDF and email it to your supplier or freight forwarder for them to place on your shipping cartons. But make sure the correct label goes on the corresponding carton, especially since Amazon is specifying different unit quantities for each shipment. Remember, shipping to the wrong warehouse will cause delays and Amazon will charge you penalty fees. And a pro tip here, if you hired a freight forwarder, some might even make this whole shipping process a lot easier for you by actually creating the shipping plan for you on your account. So if you would like them to do that, ask them to see if they offer that service. Now, one issue that I want to cover that many beginners get confused over is these box labels here are for Amazon's internal use only. It's specifically for Amazon to identify the shipment when it arrives at the Amazon warehouse. These box labels have nothing to do with the actual physical shipping of your products. If you didn't use the Amazon Partner Carrier Program, then you or your freight forwarder still need to arrange the actual shipping through a shipping carrier like FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Once that's done, you'll get a second set of labels from the shipping carrier. So for example, if you hired FedEx to ship your inventory, then you'll get a FedEx shipping label that looks something like this. And this FedEx shipping label will also need to go on each shipping carton. Without actually hiring a shipping carrier to ship your shipment, you can't ship your products. Okay, now once you've completed the shipping plan, if your supplier or freight forwarder is handling the shipment for you, then there's nothing left for you to do. However, if you're shipping the products yourself, you can then drop off the shipment at UPS or FedEx or whoever the carrier is. If you don't want to drop it off yourself, you can actually arrange to have UPS or FedEx come to your house and pick up the shipment, but they'll charge you a pickup fee. And that's it. Once you have the tracking details, you can enter them into the shipping plan. If you have them already, you can enter them here. However, if you don't have them, you can enter them later. Just click on Shipments at the top of the page, Manage Shipments, then click on Track Shipment, and then click on the Track Shipment tab and enter the tracking numbers here. Now, back on the Shipment Events tab, you can track the entire status of your shipment. You can see when the shipment was created, when it was actually shipped, when it was delivered and checked in, when it was received, and the final summary here. Now, take note that once your shipment is delivered to the Amazon warehouse, it doesn't mean that your inventory is ready to sell in the marketplace. Your shipment still needs to be checked in and processed. What that means is Amazon needs to acknowledge that your shipment has arrived and scan all of your units to verify that what you've sent in matches what you entered in the shipping plan. This process can take a few days to several weeks, so don't be surprised if your shipment is stuck in the receiving status for weeks. And I've seen this take as long as 4 to 6 weeks to complete. So if you're planning to sell your product during Q4, or if you're trying to restock before you run out of inventory, make sure to send in your shipment way ahead of time and allow for any long delays. If you want to learn more about what all of these statuses mean, you can find a list of them here, and I'll leave a link to this page down in the description below. Now, 2 mistakes I see a lot of beginners make. First, if you get this error when you're entering how many boxes you're sending in, this product exceeds your current FBA capacity limit. That means you don't have enough storage space to send that many units to Amazon. Oftentimes, you'll see this error even when you haven't even shipped anything yet. That's because you created a shipping plan in the past, but didn't actually use it. So the inventory that you specified in that previous shipping plan is being allocated towards your storage capacity. So go to your shipments page and delete or cancel the old shipping plans to recover that storage space. And the second common mistake that I see is mixing up the unit size and weight with the shipping carton size and weight. I actually see this happening all the time. When you create your first shipping plan, you'll be asked to enter the dimensions and weight of your unit. Don't mix this up with the size and weight of your shipping carton. This will create huge problems for you. You'll get storage errors, and you'll notice that the FBA fees and shipping cost calculations are astronomically high, and that's because Amazon thinks your individual product is the size and weight of your shipping carton, and fixing this problem is a huge hassle. Now, if you do make a mistake or you need to make changes to your shipping plan after you've already created it, such as updating the delivery window, changing how many units that you actually want to ship to Amazon, or you need to delete it altogether and start all over, this video right over here will show you exactly how to do that.